Hi, folks. I just wanted to talk to you in this brief episode of In the Huddle about this opportunity to maximize your summer. So, for student athletes listening out there, whether you're in college or you're thinking about going to college or you're in your home country preparing for college, I think it's really, really important to get an understanding of how you can really set yourself up um, for a really successful life by what you do in your summer breaks. Now, that sounds very generic, and I'm going to dig down a little bit into that. So, I'm going to break this into two parts. So, I want to talk about what it's like being in America and what type of things you can do to really build your future whilst in America during the summer break. And then I'll break it into also talking about when you're in your home country. Most countries that we work with student athletes will have a reasonably long summer. Certainly, if we look in the Southern Hemisphere in particular, or in Australia, our school system, there's a long 2 month summer before you have to go back to school. So this episode is just giving you some tips and just probably putting you in the loop as to some of the things you can be and maybe could be and should be doing to maximize those long breaks. So let's start. So on the US side of things, if you don't know this already, you've got a 2 semester year. The spring semester going from January through to May, and then having a long summer break between usually May. Depending how you've gone in your sport, you can cut into your summer a little bit if you're still competing at national title championships and things like that. But generally speaking, you've got a good maybe 3.5 month summer break that the US system has. You have to move out of your dorm, you have to move off campus anyway. And so that presents some opportunities for some people. So, and then you come back in most universities around that mid-August and finishing off in December. And then you've got about 1 month break for Christmas. So we're going to talk about that summer and the types of things you can do. So, look, we hear about college all the time about the great things you can do during semester. So, you're building your degree, you're attending classes, you're with your teammates, you're competing, you're traveling, all these wonderful things we talk about going to college. We don't talk about summer very often. People maybe make an assumption. Awesome, I got 3 months off. I'm going home. I'm catching up with my friends, family, all very understandable, normal, natural. We would expect that a lot of student athletes will want to do that, but maybe they're missing out on maybe an opportunity if they're going to devote that whole summer to doing that. So I just want to talk about some of the things that our student athletes do in their summer, staying in the US. So as I said, we're looking at 3 months here. So one of the things you can do is any athlete that is in the US college system, you represent around about 1% of the entire US population. So you show up to a summer camp as a college athlete, you can be quite highly sought after as a camp counselor or camp coach, is what they call them. And you're working with usually young kids who are on their summer break in primary school, elementary school. And their parents are dropping them off there for sometimes 3, 4, 5 week camp where they're learning your sport. The summer camp industry in America is multi-billion dollars industry. It's wide ranging. A lot of it is East Coast based. There's a lot of that. A lot of New York camps, even in the Hamptons. I was lucky enough to work in one of those camps for a number of years, and an amazing experience. So not only can you make some good money to help offset some of the costs that you might be incurring as part of your scholarship, but it's a good resume builder, and it's a way to network, meet people outside of that college scene. And as we know with Americans, they like providing opportunities to international student athletes. So highly recommend looking into something like that. Usually most coaches at your universities will know some camps where you can maybe go get some work. So great opportunity to make some money and have a really good experience and get a change of scene from your normal day-to-day campus. So that's one opportunity. Another opportunity is to take internships. Internships, we know, are an incredibly important thing to build into your resume. Internships can be paid in the US, and it is the one visa, I suppose, that you can get over there that allows you to travel, right across America to take up one of these internships. These can be 3-week internships, 4, 5, 6 weeks, and they can be anywhere that will take you. So a lot of the universities will be very helpful in lining these up for you, and I really highly recommend looking into it, because this is where you can set yourself up for life beyond college, even beyond a professional career, if that's what you're seeking in your sport. Those internships, the links, the networks, the people you meet in those, we know of instances where some of those people will actually help support, fund, sponsor um, student athletes trying to become professional in their sport, just through those connections and contacts made in their summer. So internships, to get an internship and to be able to do that, there is a special visa you need to apply for at your university. Very easy to get. And it's a matter of just asking your international admissions office at your university, how do I get, paid internship opportunities? And they'll be able to point you in the right direction, most likely. So again, another great way to offset some costs, another way to build your resume. We've got so many instances of students who've taken these internships, who've then been offered a job out of university at that particular company. So, which is a really wonderful way to start your post-college life and career. So internships are incredibly beneficial. Can't stress that enough. Bearing in mind, if you decide you want to come back to your home country, employers are impressed. They're impressed that you've done something different. You've got a lot of uniqueness about your resume in just going to college. Being a student athlete is really a bit of a game changer for you resume wise. Having a degree in another country where you've been away from your normal support is a wonderful attribute to sort of add to your resume. You throw internships on top of this, or even summer camp, demonstrating that you're able and capable to work in different environments within the industry you want to work in, is incredibly powerful. So imagine coming back to your home country with this full resume. Yes, no work experience potentially just yet, but to overcome that limitation. Wow, hasn't got this young lady, this young gentleman hasn't got the experience necessarily, but wow, it seems like a pretty impressive young person. We need to get them in for an interview. We see this all the time. And it comes down to these opportunities that you take in your summer. So can't stress that enough. I experienced it myself, but we've seen so many students over a long period of time doing that. Temptation, come home for 3 months and probably bypass those opportunities. We understand why you might want to do that, but why not the big 3 months? Maybe 3 weeks at a summer camp, maybe 4 weeks doing an internship, and then you've still got 4 or 5 weeks to get your fix of your home and your friends and your family. So that's the US side of things. I think that's one of the most powerful things you can do at college. Yes, semester, the stuff that happens at college, we know all about that, but you can set yourself up for life by what you do in your summer. I'm going to switch it to your home country now. And so again, if we talk Australia, we've got a long summer, and those first week or so of summer, a lot of people are taking a deep breath after a really busy year at school, and rightly so. It's very important to take some time off, but this is where again, we do find some student athletes make the mistake of maybe not doing the things that they could be doing to give themselves the best chance of being recruited. So we're talking about pre-college students now here in your home country, making sure you use your summers. We know how busy school is, particularly in Australia. It's quite rigorous. Once you get on the treadmill of the start of the year, you don't really ever jump off. You just maybe slow down a little bit at Easter, and maybe slow down in the middle of the year a little bit. But ultimately, you're on that treadmill for a long period. The summer is your big switch off from school, so use it. So what are the things that we find our successful student athletes are doing, they're working hard. They're working on their game, their sport. They're working a nice block of work with their coach, whether you're a golfer, whether you're a runner, whether you're a softball player, you're working on the aspects of your game that maybe you've already got feedback from one of our talent coordinators here or from coaches in America that you really need to develop these types of things. Hard to do that during a term. Do that in the summer, work on these things, get as fast as you can, get as strong as you can, get as fit as you can. And you'd be amazed at how much that lasts throughout the year. You can maintain that. So got to have that good uninterrupted block of work that can really help. So one of the things I often say to student athletes is see yourself as a student. Sorry, not see yourself as a student athlete. See yourself as a professional athlete. And so what I mean by that is you should be doing something every day for your sport. And so, you might be a golfer and say, well, it's raining like for the last 3 days. How am I going to do anything? Well, there's lots you can do. Think about it. You can go to the gym. You can do stretching routines. You can do some agility. You can do work on your mental game. You can practice some mental aspects of your game with your coach, or might have some exercises for you. You can work with sports psychologist to work on those aspects as well. But there'll be something you can be doing every day. We're not talking about 5 hours a day or anything like that. Just my advice is to write down a routine. It can be created by you. You can sit down with your coach. You can talk to other athletes. What do they do on a daily basis? And build it in. Again, some more advice is Sunday nights is a good time to plan your week. Okay, so if you're a tennis player, there's not a lot of academies in Australia that that you can just go and have an 8-week block of training necessarily. So you've got to do a lot yourself as a tennis player. So line up other athletes. Tuesday morning, we're training from 8 to 10. Okay, and you have your whole week lined up with another player. Thursday afternoon, I'm going to train for 2 hours. So build your week around training, gym, psychology, anything that you need to work on with your particular sport. So it's amazing how much you can get done in that summer. And not just athletically, you can also be practicing for an SAT exam, getting these types of things happening, maybe filming some new video that the coaches want to see, showing a different side to you. Maybe you do a video showing you doing your training, planning your week, doing some mindfulness potentially training, or some psychology. So anything that you can do to give yourself an edge when you get back into January, February, getting back into school for the year, it's amazing how much that a big summer can set you up. So that's it for today. I just wanted to share that with you. Maximize your summer, student athletes, whether you're in America or in your home country. And it's amazing how much that can set you up for an amazing college experience, yes, but also for life beyond college.